Hello everybody, Jane from Jane Belante Art here. I am starting with a clean gel plate and I'm grabbing 3 alcohol inks. I have cranberry, monsoon, and eggplant. And I am just going to drip them around really quickly and then I will brayer them on. When you are working with alcohol inks on the plate, you have to work really, really quick because they dry super fast. So I'm just going to put the stencil on and then I'm going to press down with a clean piece of just computer paper. And I am just removing a tiny little bit, but you'll see it barely takes off any because the alcohol ink dries so fast. So I am using a cheap craft acrylic paint. It's nice and thin, and I will just brayer some on, and I want to leave a thin, thin layer on top for the pull itself. Once I make sure the paper has a really good grip and a nice connection, I'm actually going to let it sit on the plate until everything is dry before I go and take the pull. Ooh, and I really, really love this result so much. Do play around with your alcohol inks on your plate because they really turn out vibrant and really cool. Okay, so I put the stencil back on the plate. It's a clean plate now. And I had delusions that I was going to use 4 different colors on this, but when I started using the orange and the magenta together, I just really loved how they looked so much. So I just went with both of those to cover the entire plate. So I sped it up a little bit, and again, I don't even think I mentioned these are pan pastels, and I am using just a little makeup sponge to apply them to the plate. Pan pastels are one of my very favorite things to use on the gel plate. They just turn out so gorgeous. You can blend them so well. Yeah, I'm totally obsessed. Again, a thin layer of the craft acrylic, and with this one you don't need to leave the paper on the plate to dry because these are pan pastels. You can take 2 to 3 pulls right in a row and still get print after print, so they're really fun. And again, I'm just going to do a second print right away. And then you'll see the difference. With pan pastels, each consecutive print just gets lighter and lighter, but they're so fun. I will sometimes do two, at least two, but sometimes three. And what I'll probably end up doing is leaving the pan pastel on my plate and pulling another one. And so this, I decided to show you one more way that I really, really love to create papers and prints. And so I'm not using the plate this time, and I am just using some Distress Spray Oxides, Vintage Photo, and Lost Shadow. Go ahead and put your paper on right away and press it down. If you're worried about your hands getting dirty, which I never ever am, but if you are, you might want to wear gloves during this. And so you're just pressing the paper on and removing basically all the spray that was left on top of the stencil itself. So just go ahead and pull the paper up, turn it over. I think that this looks really cool. And so then what I'm going to do is set that to the side so that it dries completely. And here, because there's another piece of paper underneath it, I am just going to pull up the stencil and look at my result. I love it. So now I have 5 prints from the same stencil, and this took about 30 minutes. So I really hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. You can find me at janebelanteart.com and at Jane Belante Art on all social media platforms. Thank you so much for being here.